Hello and welcome to the Feel Learns English. My name is Shofi, and I am really happy that you are here with me today. Before we start, I want to ask you a few questions. Do you enjoy listening to stories from real life? Do you like simple stories about family, friends, or small memories that feel warm and familiar? Have you noticed that listening to daily life stories can help you improve your English slowly, without stress or pressure? If your answer is yes, then you are in the right place. Today, I want to share a small story from my own life. It is not a big or dramatic story, but a simple story from daily life. It is the kind of story we often tell our friends when we sit together, drink tea, and talk about our day. While you listen, try to notice the words I use, the way sentences flow, and how one idea connects naturally to another. This will help you learn English in a natural and easy way. When I think about my life, family memories come to my mind first. One memory I often remember is from my childhood evenings at home. After dinner, my family would sit together in the living room. My father would read the newspaper. My mother would prepare tea. And I would sit on the floor with my school bag close to me. I remember the feeling of calm and comfort in those moments. Can you remember evenings like this from your own childhood? Did your family also have a special time together every day? Life felt slower and calmer in those days. I remember my mother calling my name softly when the tea was ready. Even when she was tired, she always used a gentle and kind voice. That small act taught me an important lesson about patience and kindness. Have you noticed that small daily moments can teach us big lessons without us even realizing it? Another memory that comes to my mind is about an old friend from school. Every afternoon, we walked home together. We talked about homework, teachers, and our future dreams. Sometimes we argued, but we never stayed angry for long. Do you still have a friend from your school days? When was the last time you thought about that person? These small connections remind me how important friendships are in our lives. As I grew older, life became busier. Work, responsibilities, and stress slowly became part of my daily routine. But these old memories stayed with me. They remind me of who I am and where I came from. They also remind me that simple conversations and honest relationships are more important than anything else in life. Now, let me ask you another question. When you think about your own life, which memory comes first? Is it a family moment, a friend, or a place from your past? While you listen to this story, I want you to think about your own story too, because your daily life is just as important as mine. One important part of my life has always been my relationship with my parents. As I grew older, I noticed the small efforts they put into our daily life. My father woke up early every morning, even when he looked tired. He believed that discipline and routine were forms of respect, not just for himself, but also for the family. Watching him taught me the value of responsibility, even though he never gave a long lecture. Have you ever learned something important just by watching someone in your family? My mother was different, but she was equally strong. She showed love through her actions rather than just words. When I came home late from school, she always made sure that food was ready. She asked simple questions like, "How was your day?" or "Did you eat enough?" At that time, I did not think much about it. But now, I understand how much care and love were hidden in those simple questions. This is something many families do, but we often realize its importance only later in life. When I was a teenager, I wanted more freedom. I wanted to spend more time with friends and less time at home. I remember small disagreements with my parents about this. Nothing serious, but sometimes the house felt quiet and tense. Looking back, I see that these moments were natural and important. They helped me learn how to express myself and how to listen to others. Friends also played a big role in my daily life during those years. I had one close friend who knew almost everything about me. We shared secrets, fears, and silly jokes. We studied together before exams and complained together when exams were difficult. That friendship taught me the value of trust. Do you have someone in your life who knows you deeply and accepts you as you are? As time passed, some friendships slowly changed. People moved to different cities, started new jobs, or became busy with their own family life. At first, I felt sad about this. I thought losing daily contact meant losing the friendship. Later, I realized that true connections do not disappear easily. True friendship and love can last even when we are not in daily contact. So, my story is simple. It is about family, friends, and small moments in daily life. These moments shape us, teach us lessons, and stay in our hearts forever. While you listen to this, I encourage you to think about your own memories too. Remember, your story is just as important as mine. Even after months of silence, a single message from someone can bring back warmth and understanding. It can remind us that relationships, even if quiet for a while, can still matter. This is not only a lesson for life, but also a lesson for communication in English. Small actions, small words, and small messages can make a big difference. Work life became another important chapter in my story. I still remember my first job. It was both exciting and stressful at the same time. On the first day, I felt nervous. I worried about making mistakes. I worried about speaking English correctly in front of my colleagues. Maybe you have felt the same way in your job, school, or studies. Over time, I learned something very important. Mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake, every small error, helped me improve. It was not only my English that improved, but also my confidence. Daily routines started to shape my life more clearly. Waking up, getting ready for work, traveling to the office, talking to colleagues, returning home, these became my daily rhythm. At first, this routine felt boring, and I sometimes wished for excitement or change. Later, I realized that routines are very helpful. They give structure and stability to life. They help us manage time and reduce stress. Even small daily actions, if we pay attention to them, can create balance in our lives. There were also moments that broke the routine. Family events, celebrations, and even difficult times brought everyone together. I remember one family gathering where many relatives came. They shared old stories about their childhood and the past. Listening to older family members talk about their life made me feel connected to something bigger than myself. It reminded me that our lives are part of a long story, one that continues across generations. Sometimes I think about how memory works. Certain smells, sounds, or places can bring back strong feelings. A familiar song can remind me of a special moment from the past. A street or a park can remind me of a conversation from years ago. These memories help shape how we see the world today. When we talk about these memories in English, we are not just practicing language. We are sharing pieces of ourselves. Learning English through daily life stories is very powerful. It reflects real life, not just textbook examples. It is not about speaking perfectly all the time. It is about expressing your thoughts clearly and honestly. When you listen to stories like mine, you can also think about how you would tell your own story. What words would you use? What moments from your life would you share? There were times in my life when I felt unsure about the future. I asked myself many questions. Am I doing the right thing? Am I moving in the right direction? These are normal questions. Almost everyone asks them at some point. Talking about our feelings can help reduce fear and confusion. Language can become a tool for understanding ourselves better. One habit that helped me during difficult times was reflection. At the end of each day, I would think about what went well and what could be improved. This habit helped me become more aware of my actions and choices. It also helped me practice English because I learned to put my thoughts into words. Family support was always important. Even when I made decisions they did not fully understand, my parents listened. Their listening made me feel respected. Respect and listening are important not only in family life but also in learning a language. I also learned the importance of patience. Progress, whether in life or in English, does not happen overnight. It happens slowly, step by step, with daily effort. Just like these stories build meaning over time, your English improves gradually. Every word you learn adds to your confidence. Sometimes I imagine my younger self. I think about what advice I would give. I would say it is okay to feel unsure. I would say that small daily stories matter more than dramatic events. I would say that learning never really stops. In the mornings, I try to give myself a few quiet minutes. I drink water, stretch a little, and think about what the day might bring. This habit did not come naturally to me. I learned it after many rushed mornings when I felt stressed even before the day began. Now I understand that how we start the day often affects how we feel for the rest of it. Do you have a morning habit that helps you feel calm or focused? Breakfast has always been an important time in my family. Even when everyone was busy, we tried to sit together for a few minutes. Sometimes we talked quietly. Sometimes we ate in silence. But being together mattered. I remember my father asking simple questions about the day ahead. Those questions made me feel supported, even if I did not answer in detail. Small conversations, even very short ones, can slowly build strong relationships over time. These little moments are important because they help people feel close and connected. During the day, work, school, or responsibilities take up most of our time. Some days go very smoothly, and everything seems to fall into place. Other days, nothing works as we planned, and it can feel frustrating. I used to get upset when things went wrong, but now I try to see these moments differently. I see them as chances to learn patience and to practice staying calm. Life does not always follow our plans, and learning to adapt is one of the most useful skills we can have. One memory that comes back to me often is from a time when I faced a big challenge at work. I felt unsure about my abilities and worried I would make mistakes. I could have kept these feelings to myself, but instead, I decided to talk to a colleague I trusted. That simple conversation changed everything. It reminded me that many people feel nervous or unsure, even if they do not show it. Talking about worries can make them feel lighter and easier to handle. Friendship in adult life is different from friendship in childhood. As adults, we do not see our friends every day. Still, the bond can remain strong. I have a friend I meet only a few times a year, but every time we talk, it feels natural, easy, and comfortable. We talk about our families, our work, our health, and our dreams. These conversations remind me that in friendship, quality matters more than quantity. In the evenings, I often think about the past. Old memories sometimes come quietly, without warning. Some memories make me smile, while others make me feel emotional. I remember listening to my grandparents tell stories about their youth. They spoke slowly, carefully choosing every word. Listening to them taught me the power of storytelling and the importance of passing life experiences to the next generation. Food also brings back many memories. Certain dishes remind me of specific people, places, or moments. A simple meal can bring back the feeling of being safe, cared for, and loved. Cooking has become one of my ways to relax and reflect. When I cook, I feel connected to my family history and my cultural roots. Sometimes, silence is more powerful than words. Sitting with a family member or a friend without speaking can still feel very comforting. Silence gives time to think, understand, and grow. Not every moment in life needs words. It is okay to simply be present. As I grew older, I noticed how fast time seems to pass. Days feel shorter, and moments pass quickly. This awareness has helped me appreciate small joys. A kind message, a short but good conversation, or a peaceful walk can make a day feel complete. These moments may seem ordinary, but they shape our happiness and well-being. I often think about mistakes I made in the past. Instead of feeling regret, I try to see mistakes as lessons. Each mistake taught me something valuable. This way of thinking has helped me grow emotionally and mentally. It has also helped me become more confident when speaking English because I no longer fear making errors. Learning through daily stories is gentle and effective. Language becomes part of life, not something separate or difficult. When you hear these stories, you learn how thoughts flow naturally and how ideas connect in real conversations. Sometimes I imagine listeners like you, quietly listening somewhere. Maybe you are traveling, resting, or studying. Wherever you are, I hope my words feel friendly, simple, and easy to follow. Language should feel welcoming, not stressful. At night, I like to reflect on my day. I think about what I learned and how I felt. This reflection helps me sleep peacefully and understand myself better. Self-reflection is an important part of communication and personal growth. Life is always changing, and so are we. New experiences bring new stories. Every stage of life adds another layer to who we are, and sharing these layers through language helps us connect with others. Daily life shapes the way we think and feel more than we often notice. Simple routines create comfort and safety. When I step outside in the morning, I often see the same faces. There is a shopkeeper who opens his store early, every day. There is a neighbor who walks slowly and smiles at everyone. These small interactions may seem unimportant, but they give a sense of belonging and connection. I also remember how life felt when I was younger. Time seemed slower, and worries felt smaller. After school, I used to sit with friends, talking about nothing serious. We laughed easily and dreamed freely. These memories remind me that simple moments and small joys are what make life meaningful. When we were younger, we believed the future would be simple and kind. We imagined a life that would go smoothly and easily. Even though life did not turn out exactly as we imagined, those dreams are still important. They shaped our hopes, our values, and the way we see the world. As I grew older, responsibilities began to increase. I had to make choices that affected not only me but also other people. At first, this felt heavy and stressful. I worried about making the right decisions. Over time, I learned that no choice is perfect. Every decision brings some good things and some challenges. Accepting this truth helped me feel more balanced and realistic. Life became less stressful when I realized that mistakes and difficulties are part of the journey. Family conversations also changed as I grew. When I was a child, my parents guided almost every step I took. Later, as I became older, they started to listen more and advise less. This change showed me that trust grows over time. It also taught me that communication changes as relationships grow. Respect becomes more important than control. I often think about how families express feelings. In many homes, emotions are shown through actions more than words. A warm meal, a quiet check-in, or a gentle reminder can say more than long speeches. Understanding these small actions helps us understand people better. It also teaches us how to speak with care and clarity. Work life continues to teach me lessons every day. I meet people from many different backgrounds, each with their own ways of thinking. Some people are direct and open, while others are quiet and careful. Learning how to communicate with each person takes patience and attention. These experiences improve not only language skills but also emotional understanding and empathy. There are days when I feel tired, unmotivated, or low on energy. On those days, I remind myself that rest is part of progress. Taking a break does not mean giving up. It means preparing to move forward again. Listening to our body and mind is an important life skill. Old memories often return during quiet moments. A smell from the kitchen, a sound from the street, or a familiar phrase can suddenly bring the past to mind. These memories remind me that life is a collection of moments. Each moment leaves a mark, even if we do not notice it at the time. I also reflect on friendships that faded naturally. Not every connection lasts forever, and that is okay. Some people enter our lives to teach us something and then move on. Accepting this truth reduces sadness and creates space for gratitude. One habit that helps me stay grounded is writing. Writing allows my thoughts to become clearer. Even simple sentences can bring comfort. When I write about my day, I understand my feelings better. This habit also naturally improves my language skills. Listening is another very important skill. Listening carefully helps build trust. When someone feels heard, they feel valued. In language learning, listening helps us understand rhythm, tone, and meaning. Listening is just as important as speaking, and sometimes even more important. As the evening arrives, the pace of life slows. Lights turn on in houses, and streets become quieter. This time often feels peaceful. I enjoy reflecting on what the day has taught me. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Life is not only made of big events, it is made of ordinary days lived with attention. Every conversation, every pause, every small action adds meaning. When we share these moments through language, we connect deeply with others. Reflection does not always mean deep thinking or asking serious questions. Sometimes it is just noticing how I feel while doing simple daily activities. When I wash my hands, prepare food, or sit quietly, I often think about how far I have come. These thoughts are calm and steady, just like daily life itself. I remember a time when I felt very busy and restless. Every day felt rushed, and I was always thinking about the next task. One evening, I visited an old relative who lived a very simple life. He moved slowly, spoke carefully, and never seemed in a hurry. While sitting with him, I noticed how peaceful the room felt. That moment taught me that speed is not always progress. Sometimes slowing down helps us understand life better. Family gatherings have also shaped many of my memories. During these gatherings, people often tell old stories that have been told many times before. Even though the stories are familiar, they always feel special. Each time someone tells a story, they add a new detail or emotion. These moments taught me that repetition does not make a story boring. It makes it richer and more meaningful. I also often think about how children see the world. When I spend time with younger family members, I notice their curiosity. They ask simple but deep questions. They observe things that adults often ignore. Watching them reminds me to stay curious and open-minded. Curiosity is important. It keeps learning alive, especially when learning a language. There were times in my life when I felt unsure about myself. During those moments, a kind word from a friend or family member made a big difference. Encouragement does not need to be long or complicated. Sometimes, even one honest sentence can change how we see ourselves. This is why simple language can be very powerful. I also learned that confidence grows slowly. It comes from repeated effort and small successes. When I first started expressing my thoughts more openly, I felt nervous. Over time, I realized that people care more about honesty than perfection. This understanding helped me speak more freely and naturally. Daily routines taught me discipline. Doing small tasks regularly builds strength and stability. Making the bed, cleaning a room, or organizing a desk may seem simple, but these actions create order in the mind. Order helps reduce stress and confusion. I often notice how evenings bring a different kind of energy. The noise of the day slowly fades, and thoughts become softer. This is the time when I feel closest to my inner self. I think about conversations I had and words I used. This awareness helps me improve how I communicate. Sometimes, I recall moments when I said the wrong thing or stayed silent when I should have spoken. Instead of feeling regret, I try to learn from those moments. Every experience becomes a lesson if we allow it to be one. Learning through stories feels natural because stories reflect real emotions. They show how people think, feel, and react. When you listen to these stories, you are not just learning words. You are learning how life sounds in English. As I continue talking, I want you to feel encouraged. Your daily life is full of stories worth sharing. Even quiet days carry meaning. With time and patience, expressing these stories becomes easier and more enjoyable. There was a time when I compared myself to others too much. I looked at friends who seemed more successful or more confident. This comparison made me feel small and impatient. Over time, I realized that everyone carries something unseen. Everyone has doubts, struggles, and fears. Understanding this helped me become kinder to myself and to others. I remember one afternoon when I met an old neighbor after many years. We stood on the street and talked about simple things like weather, health, and family. That short conversation stayed with me. It reminded me that human connection does not need a reason or a plan. It only needs openness and time. Daily communication also taught me how important tone is. The same words can feel very different depending on how we say them. A gentle voice can calm a tense moment. A patient reply can prevent unnecessary conflict. These small skills matter in both life and language learning. At home, small habits create comfort. A clean space, soft light, and quiet moments help the mind relax. I did not always understand this. When I was younger, I ignored my surroundings. Now I see how the environment affects mood and focus. Creating a peaceful space supports clear thinking and better communication. I also learned that listening to others without interrupting builds trust. When people feel heard, they open up naturally. This skill took time to develop. At first, I focused more on what I wanted to say next. Later, I learned to pause and truly listen. This changed the quality of my relationships. There were days when I felt lonely even when surrounded by people. That feeling taught me that connection is not about numbers. It is about understanding. One honest conversation can feel more meaningful than many shallow ones. Memories from childhood still visit me unexpectedly. A certain smell, sound, or place can bring a moment back clearly. These memories remind me that the past is never completely gone. It lives quietly inside us and shapes how we respond to the present. I noticed that as I grew older, my definition of success changed. Success became less about achievement and more about balance. Feeling calm, healthy, and connected began to matter more than status. This shift brought peace and clarity. There were moments in my life when things felt uncertain. During those times, routine became a guide. Simple actions like walking, cooking, or reading helped ground me. Even small routines reminded me that stability can exist, even when answers are unclear. I often think about how stories connect people across cultures. Even when details are different, emotions are the same. Love, fear, hope, and regret are feelings everyone understands. This is why storytelling is such a powerful way to learn English. It speaks to the heart, not just the mind. As I continue sharing, I want you to notice how language flows naturally through real experiences. These are not perfect stories. They are honest stories. Honesty creates clarity, and clarity builds confidence. I also want to talk about how small choices slowly shape our days. Many people think life only changes with big decisions. But most change comes from daily habits. What time we wake up, how we speak to others, and how we treat ourselves, all of this matters. I learned this slowly through experience, not advice. There was a period in my life when I felt confused about my direction. I was doing what I thought I should do, not what felt right. Every day looked fine from the outside, but inside I felt disconnected. One evening, while walking alone, I realized I had stopped asking myself simple questions. I had stopped asking what made me feel calm and what gave me energy. That realization became a turning point. From that time, I started paying more attention to my feelings during normal moments. When did I feel relaxed? When did I feel tense? These answers guided me more than any long plan. This habit also helped me express myself better in English. I learned to describe feelings clearly, and this made communication more natural. Family conversations continue to play an important role in life. As adults, we often talk less deeply with family, but meaningful talks still happen. Sometimes they happen late at night or during a short phone call. I remember one conversation where a family member shared a worry they had kept hidden for years. That moment taught me that openness builds stronger bonds than pretending everything is fine. I also learned the value of forgiveness. Holding on to old anger takes energy. Letting go brings relief. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, it means choosing peace over pain. This lesson improved both my relationships and my inner calm. Daily life also taught me patience. Waiting for results, waiting for answers, and waiting for change can feel frustrating. At first, I did not like waiting. Later, I realized that waiting is part of growth. Some things take time, just like learning a language. There were also days when I felt proud of small achievements. Finishing a task, helping someone, or learning something new brought quiet joy. Celebrating small wins made life feel lighter and more hopeful. I noticed that kindness often returns in unexpected ways. A small helpful action can lead to a warm response later. This made me believe more in the goodness of human connection. As I continue sharing, I want you to remember that your daily life is meaningful. Every ordinary day adds value to your story. Listening to stories like this helps you see your own life with fresh eyes. We are moving forward together, one simple story at a time, using clear language, real emotions, and everyday experiences to learn and grow naturally. I also want to focus on the small interactions that shape life every day. Life is not only made of big events. Most moments are quiet and ordinary, but they teach the most important lessons. I remember mornings when I walked through the neighborhood. People were starting their day. A neighbor watered flowers. Another opened a small shop. Children played while waiting for the school bus. These small scenes showed me how daily life connects us, even when we do not speak. Each person has their own rhythm, and noticing it teaches patience and understanding. Family remains central in my life. I remember evenings when my parents would ask about my day. At first, I thought it was routine, but later I realized it was a sign of care. They wanted to know how I felt, what I learned, and if I was happy. These questions were simple, but they built trust and closeness. I tried to do the same with friends. Asking small questions about life shows attention and respect. It strengthens bonds and helps conversations flow naturally. Friendship has always been a source of joy and learning in my life. I remember a friend who helped me when I faced difficulties at work. We talked for hours, and I realized that sharing feelings makes worries feel smaller. Sometimes, just speaking your thoughts makes problems easier to manage. These moments also taught me the importance of listening carefully. Listening is not just hearing words. It is understanding the meaning behind them and responding with empathy. This skill is useful in daily life and also in learning a language. I also reflect on childhood memories often. Those memories are small but vivid. I remember sitting with my grandparents as they told stories about the past. Their voices were slow and gentle, and their words carried emotion. Listening to them taught me the rhythm of storytelling. Stories are not only about events, They are about feelings, lessons, and connections between people. When you share your own experiences, this same pattern helps you communicate clearly in English. Daily routines have taught me discipline and mindfulness. Making the bed, organizing my workspace, or preparing meals may seem small, but these habits create order in life. Order reduces stress and improves focus. I noticed that when my surroundings were tidy, my mind felt clearer. When my day was structured, I felt more confident to handle challenges. These small habits slowly shape both character and language ability. There are moments when life feels repetitive. Work, chores, and routines can seem boring. At first, I felt frustrated. Later, I realized that repetition builds skill. Practicing simple actions every day creates confidence. Learning English works the same way. Daily practice, even in small amounts, adds up over time. Each word learned and each sentence spoken strengthens fluency. Evenings are special time for reflection. After work or school, the day slows down. I often sit quietly and think about what happened. I notice my feelings, my successes, and my mistakes. Reflection is not about judgment. It is about understanding. When I reflect regularly, I understand myself and others better. I also learn how to express these observations in clear language. Old friendships and connections often come to mind during quiet times. Some friends moved away, and we no longer see each other every day. Even so, a single message or phone call can bring warmth instantly. These experiences show me that quality matters more than quantity in relationships. True bonds do not disappear because of distance or time. Daily challenges continue to teach patience and resilience. Sometimes tasks take longer than expected or plans change unexpectedly. These moments feel uncomfortable at first. Over time, I learned that adapting to change is a skill. Patience allows us to stay calm and make thoughtful decisions. Resilience helps us continue moving forward even when life feels uncertain. Kindness is another important lesson. Small acts, like helping someone carry groceries or giving a friendly smile, often return unexpectedly. These moments teach me that generosity and attention create positive energy. Life feels lighter and more connected when we act with kindness. This also applies to communication. Being patient, polite, and empathetic makes conversations smoother and more meaningful. Language learning is easier when it is connected to real life. Listening to daily experiences helps us learn natural vocabulary. Describing ordinary events in English improves fluency. Sharing feelings and observations builds confidence. Stories of family, friends, and daily routines give context to words and phrases. Context makes learning more memorable than memorizing lists. Reflection on mistakes is also important. I remember times when I said the wrong thing or misunderstood someone. At first, I felt embarrassed. Later, I realized these moments were lessons. Mistakes teach awareness and careful expression. They remind us that progress is gradual and that errors are part of learning. Language and life both improve through trial and attention. Quiet moments of solitude have been important to me. Walking alone, sitting in a park, or enjoying tea helps me organize thoughts. Solitude is not loneliness. It is an opportunity to listen to oneself. Understanding your feelings and thoughts improves communication with others. It also allows you to describe experiences and emotions more clearly in English. Life continues to offer small joys. Watching the sunrise, sharing a laugh, or seeing a familiar face brings contentment. These moments may seem ordinary, but they carry meaning. Paying attention to them strengthens mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness improves memory, focus, and language retention. It also helps us appreciate the simplicity of life. I often notice the importance of questions in daily life. Asking questions shows curiosity and attention. Questions can start conversations, clarify meaning, and deepen understanding. For example, asking a family member about their day, or a friend about their feelings, creates connection. In English learning, forming questions naturally practices sentence structure and vocabulary. Listening and observing also teach empathy. Noticing a friend's mood, a neighbor's struggle, or a colleague's concern allows thoughtful responses. Empathy strengthens relationships and improves communication. It also helps choose the right words and tone. In English, language becomes a tool for connection, not just information. Daily habits of reading, writing, and speaking gradually improve language. Reading stories, newspapers, or online articles expands vocabulary. Writing reflections or short notes strengthens clarity of thought. Speaking with friends or family reinforces fluency. These habits mirror life skills. Consistency builds confidence, both in language and personal growth. Memories of family trips or childhood games also provide lessons. I remember a picnic with cousins where we laughed non-stop and shared simple food. At the time, it seemed ordinary, but later it became a cherished memory. Simple joys shared with loved ones create lasting happiness. Sharing these memories in English strengthens both language skills and emotional expression. As I continue reflecting, I notice that every small choice matters. Smiling at a stranger, helping someone, or speaking gently can improve someone's day. Similarly, choosing to practice English daily, listen carefully, or write clearly improves communication. Life and learning both progress step by step. Patience and persistence are essential. Every day brings new opportunities. A conversation at work, a message from a friend, or a quiet walk can teach something new. Being present allows us to notice these lessons. Language becomes natural when connected to real experience. Daily life offers endless chances to learn, practice, and grow. I also think about gratitude. Appreciating simple things like food, shelter, friendship, and health improves mood and awareness. Gratitude encourages positive language and respectful conversation. Expressing thanks in English strengthens vocabulary and social skills. Gratitude connects internal feelings with external action, creating balance. Quiet evenings are perfect for reflection and storytelling. I sometimes write short notes about the day or share memories with family. These stories preserve meaning and emotion. Sharing stories in English improves descriptive skills and narrative flow. Storytelling connects people across time and culture. Daily life, family, friends, memories, and routines all offer lessons. Observing, listening, reflecting, and acting thoughtfully gradually improve character and language. Language becomes part of life, not separate from it. Each day adds new words, phrases, and understanding. Each interaction deepens empathy and communication skills. Life is ongoing. Memories fade and return. People come and go. Jobs and routines change. Yet ordinary moments continue to teach. Everyday actions build habits, understanding, and language fluency. Paying attention to these moments transforms both life and learning into meaningful experiences. As I continue sharing these reflections, I hope you notice your own daily stories. Every small memory, conversation, and feeling can be described clearly. Every ordinary moment contains lessons, both in life and in English. Observing, listening, and reflecting helps you grow, and expressing these moments in English makes learning natural and meaningful. Reflecting, observing, and practicing with attention slowly builds confidence and skill. I often think about how listening to others teaches perspective. Hearing family, friends, or neighbors describe their experiences shows different ways of thinking. Language becomes a bridge to understand these perspectives. Each story, no matter how small, adds richness to knowledge and empathy. Daily routines like cooking, cleaning, walking, or studying create structure. Structure reduces stress and creates space for learning. Even small achievements during routine build confidence. Noticing patterns in daily life strengthens memory and observation skills. Observing life carefully improves language naturally because words and ideas connect directly to real experiences. I also reflect on patience in communication. Sometimes conversations are slow or unclear. Listening carefully, asking clarifying questions, and responding calmly helps understanding. These skills are essential in English and in life. Patience allows deeper connection and reduces frustration. Simple joys like laughter, a kind gesture, or a shared meal create meaning. These moments remind us that life is not only tasks or goals. Relationships, connection, and attention make life full. Expressing these moments in English strengthens clarity, vocabulary, and emotional depth. Reflection helps transform ordinary days into meaningful lessons. Writing, thinking, and talking about experiences connects internal understanding with external expression. These practices build life skills and language skills at the same time. Every memory, action, or observation contributes to growth. Life teaches slowly. Small habits, conversations, memories, and reflections accumulate over time. Learning English through these experiences mirrors learning in life. Words and ideas become easier to recall because they are tied to real moments and feelings. Listening to stories from family, friends, and daily life also inspires creativity. I often think of new ways to describe a place, a feeling, or an event. Observing human behavior carefully creates opportunities to practice storytelling. Storytelling develops fluency and natural sentence flow in English. I also notice the importance of empathy in daily life. Understanding how someone feels before responding improves conversation. Empathy strengthens connection and communication. Learning language is more effective when it is combined with awareness of emotions and intentions. Daily challenges teach problem solving. Unexpected situations require calm thinking and flexibility. This develops resilience and adaptability. Both skills are useful in life and in learning English. Facing small problems regularly prepares us for larger ones in the future. Everyday life is full of small victories. Completing tasks, helping someone, understanding a new idea, or successfully expressing a thought in English are all wins. Celebrating these moments encourages persistence and joy. Language learning benefits greatly from noticing progress, no matter how small. Observing routines, reflecting on experiences, and listening to others create a foundation for personal growth. Life becomes more meaningful when we notice patterns and lessons. Language becomes natural when it is connected to real experience. I continue to find value in simple moments. Walking, eating, talking, or resting provides opportunities to learn and practice language. Being attentive to daily life develops observation, expression, and understanding. Each ordinary moment is rich with lessons. Memories of past events, conversations, and interactions help shape identity. Recalling these memories allows us to learn from the past. Describing them in English builds narrative skills and emotional expression. Language becomes a way to preserve and share meaningful experiences. Daily life teaches balance. Work, family, rest, and reflection must coexist. Focusing only on one area creates stress and reduces effectiveness. Balance allows growth in multiple areas. Language skills also improve when learning is balanced with listening, speaking, reading, and reflection. Small interactions matter more than we often realize. A smile, a question, or a helping hand can create positive energy. Paying attention to these moments improves relationships and communication. English learning becomes stronger when we notice the meaning and emotion behind words. Reflecting on mistakes and successes helps us grow. Understanding what went wrong and what went well guides our next actions. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons that improve skill and judgment. Language improves through trial, correction, and careful observation. Quiet moments of solitude encourage introspection. Observing your surroundings, thinking about your feelings, and recalling memories enhances awareness. Awareness improves communication because your thoughts and emotions are better understood. English becomes easier when words reflect real understanding. The world around us provides constant lessons. Nature, people, and daily routines all offer insights. Observing carefully develops patience, empathy, and attention. Language becomes more meaningful when connected to real-life experiences. Daily routines, memories, friendships, family interactions, reflections, and observations all contribute to growth. Each day adds experience, understanding, and opportunities to practice language. Consistency and attention matter more than speed or intensity. Life and learning progress gradually. Small steps, ordinary experiences, and reflection accumulate into skill and wisdom. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing about daily experiences strengthens both understanding and fluency. I notice how storytelling connects people. Sharing experiences, feelings, and thoughts builds trust and understanding. Language becomes a bridge linking personal experience with the wider world. English improves when stories are authentic, clear, and meaningful. Ordinary days contain countless small lessons. Observation, reflection, and practice help us recognize and apply them. Every routine, conversation, and memory contributes to growth in life and language. Patience, attention, and care improve both learning and daily experiences. I continue to reflect on how life and language are intertwined. Daily routines, family interactions, friendships, reflections, and memories create opportunities to improve communication. Every moment offers lessons. Observing carefully allows words to connect with meaning naturally. Listening to stories, reflecting on experiences, practicing language, and noticing small details create steady progress. Life becomes richer, and English becomes more natural. Learning is not separate from living. Life itself provides context, examples, and inspiration for language growth. Every day offers choices, actions, observations, and reflections. Each choice shapes habits, understanding, and expression. Each action creates experience. Observing daily life carefully strengthens memory and fluency. Language becomes easier when connected to reality. As I share these thoughts, I hope you notice your own life in small details. Everyday conversations, routines, and reflections are opportunities to practice English and understand yourself better. Life and language progress through consistent attention, reflection, and expression. Memories, daily routines, family, friends, reflections, and observations create a continuous flow of learning. Every ordinary day carries meaning. Each conversation and small action builds understanding and skill. Paying attention transforms ordinary experiences into lessons for life and language. Life is ongoing. Stories continue, lessons continue, and growth continues. Language becomes natural when embedded in these daily experiences. Listening, reflecting, observing, and speaking create steady improvement. Consistency, attention, and curiosity guide both life and English learning. Remember that your daily life is full of stories and lessons. Every memory, interaction, routine, and reflection matters. Observing and describing them improves both understanding and English fluency. Life and language are inseparable, and every day is an opportunity to learn. Small moments, ordinary conversations, and simple routines hold deep value. Paying attention allows us to discover meaning and practice language naturally every day. They offer endless opportunities to observe, reflect, communicate, and grow. Learning English through daily life, a reflective story. Hello, and welcome. I am Shofi, and I'm very happy you are here today. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Do you enjoy listening to real-life stories? Stories about family, friends, memories, and ordinary daily life. If your answer is yes, you are in the right place. Listening to these stories can improve your English naturally, without stress. Let me share some reflections from my life. These are not dramatic stories, but simple, everyday experiences that teach lessons and help us grow. When I think about my childhood, family memories always come first. I remember evenings at home after dinner, when my father read the newspaper, my mother prepared tea, and I sat nearby with my school bag. Life felt slower then, calm, and filled with small acts of kindness. My mother's gentle voice, even when tired, taught me patience and care. These small moments show us that ordinary life can teach big lessons. Friendship has also shaped my experiences. Walking home with a friend after school, sharing secrets, jokes, and dreams, taught me trust and understanding. Even as friendships change over time, true bonds remain. A single message after months of silence can bring warmth and connection. These small interactions are important in life and in English learning. Sharing feelings and thoughts, listening carefully, and responding with empathy improve relationships and communication skills. Work life became another chapter in my journey. My first job was exciting but also stressful. I worried about mistakes and speaking English correctly. Over time, I realized mistakes are part of learning. They build confidence and skill. Daily routines, like waking up, traveling, working, and returning home, may feel ordinary, but they give structure, reduce stress, and create balance. Celebrations, family gatherings, and changes in routine remind us that life is connected across generations. Listening to older family members or observing simple moments in daily life can provide lessons in empathy, patience, and storytelling. I also learned the value of reflection. At the end of the day, thinking about what went well and what could improve strengthens self-awareness and communication. Small routines, like making the bed, cooking, walking, or reading, build discipline and clarity. Quiet moments, even sitting alone or enjoying tea, create space for introspection and help us organize thoughts. Reflection also improves English skills because it teaches us how to describe experiences and emotions clearly. Life taught me patience, kindness, and empathy. Small acts, like smiling, helping someone, or listening without interrupting, create positive energy. Connection is not about numbers or constant activity. One honest conversation, a shared meal, or a quiet evening can be more meaningful than many busy interactions. Memories from childhood, family stories, and small everyday interactions remind us that life is a collection of moments. Each moment leaves a mark, shapes understanding, and can be shared through language. I noticed that ordinary experiences teach more than extraordinary events. Walking through a neighborhood, observing people starting their day, children playing, neighbors smiling. These small moments teach patience, observation, and understanding. Family conversations, even simple questions about the day, create trust and closeness. Celebrating small achievements, helping someone, or finishing a task builds confidence. Everyday life offers endless opportunities to practice language naturally. English improves when words reflect real experiences and emotions. Daily routines, reflections, friendships, family interactions, memories, and observations create continuous growth. Listening carefully, noticing details, and describing what we see and feel build fluency and understanding. Storytelling connects us with others and strengthens empathy. Mistakes are lessons, not failures. Every choice, action, and observation contributes to personal and language development. Awareness, patience, and consistency guide steady improvement. Language becomes natural when connected to life. Gratitude and mindfulness add another layer. Appreciating small joys, sunrises, laughter, a familiar face, creates contentment. Asking questions shows curiosity and attention, which strengthen understanding and communication. Observing, reflecting, and practicing English alongside life experiences develops fluency, confidence, and emotional depth. Life is not separate from learning. It provides context, examples, and inspiration. Small, ordinary actions create extraordinary growth over time. Every day brings lessons. Each routine, memory, conversation, or reflection adds to understanding. Life and English learning are intertwined. Observing carefully, reflecting thoughtfully, and practicing regularly improve both life skills and language skills. Every ordinary moment, repeated action, and quiet interaction teaches patience, empathy, and clarity. Stories of family, friends, and daily life provide endless opportunities to practice English. Small details matter more than we often realize. Paying attention to them strengthens awareness, communication, and understanding. Learning is continuous, just like life itself. English becomes easier when it describes real experiences. Speaking, listening, reading, and writing about daily life makes learning meaningful. Life's ordinary moments, repeated habits, and simple routines all carry lessons. Observing carefully, reflecting, and acting thoughtfully build confidence and skill. Stories, routines, memories, and reflections guide steady progress. Life and language grow together naturally. So, as you go about your day, notice small moments. Observe, listen, reflect, and describe. Every conversation, memory, routine, and feeling is a chance to improve both life and English. Learning and living are inseparable. Ordinary days are full of extraordinary lessons. Each moment offers opportunities to grow, understand, and connect. Life continues. Stories continue. Lessons continue. Growth continues. And English becomes natural when embedded in these daily experiences. I continue to reflect on how ordinary experiences shape character and communication. Observing, listening, and reflecting create gradual growth. Language learning becomes natural when connected to daily life. Small choices, daily routines, family conversations, and memories all contribute to progress. Awareness and attention transform ordinary experiences into lessons for life and English. Consistency builds skill, confidence, and understanding. Every interaction, observation, memory, and reflection strengthens communication skills. Language becomes natural when tied to real experiences. Life and learning are intertwined through stories, attention, and reflection. Daily life provides endless chances to learn, observe, reflect, and communicate. Each moment contributes to personal growth and language development. Awareness, patience, and care guide steady progress. As we come to the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with one simple thought. Life is full of small moments, ordinary conversations, and daily routines. Each of these moments holds a story worth noticing and sharing. By paying attention to these experiences, reflecting on them, and expressing them clearly, you are not only improving your English, but also learning more about yourself and the world around you. Remember, language is a tool for connection. Every story, every question, every memory you share helps you connect with others, understand them better, and express your own thoughts and feelings more naturally. There is no need to rush or search for perfection. Progress comes one step at a time. Just like life itself, I encourage you to observe your day tomorrow. Notice the little details. Listen carefully to conversations and think about what each moment teaches you. Try to describe these experiences in English, by speaking, writing, or even thinking in your mind. These small efforts accumulate and lead to fluency, confidence, and a deeper understanding of language. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope these stories from daily life inspire you to see your own days as rich with lessons, memories, and opportunities to learn. Keep listening, keep observing, and keep practicing. The more you engage with life and language, the more natural and enjoyable English will become. This is Shofi, and I look forward to sharing more stories and reflections with you in the next episode. Until then, notice the world around you, cherish your memories, and enjoy the process of learning every day. Thank you for listening to Feel Learns English.